Okay, I want to go next with this was sent in to us. Okay, so yeah, this one's called A Game of Mum. I used to have this rank mate at school. Every
rank mate.
Best way to start any story. I used to have this rank mate at school. Every teenage boyfriend group had a rank friend, and he was ours. Like most teenage boys, his favourite pastime was wanking. However, unlike us, who were content with beating our meat to zoo, nuts, or some other internet grot, this boy...
Anybody listening can kind of figure out the era. It's like internet porn was like in its infancy at that point, if you're still going to the magazine.
So this boy, let's call him Bob, had a special game he would play to get his kicks. Oh dear, Bob. This game was called Mum. What Bob used to do was start wanking to whatever filth he had at his disposal, and then just before he was about to come, he'd shout for his mum. This meant that he had a very short window to shoot his muck, hide the porn, clean himself up, and think of an excuse for calling his mum before she barged in. It's a gambit a few others would take, and the thought...
Someone just like bet on the Grand National for f***'s sake.
And the thought of dealing with your mum in the last throes of a could make most shudder, or at least go flaccid. This is where Bob was different. The more and more he played this game, the more and more he needed the rush of the risk to get his rocks off. Like I said, Bob was rank.
Yeah.
He used to love regaling us with the tales of how he almost been caught. Bob thought he was pretty cool. This is the story of the day Bob came unstuck. Bob... Jeez. Bob had been shopping with his mum and then helped her get the shopping in. He knew this gave him a 10-minute window whilst she was on the ground floor putting the shopping in. 10 minutes was more than enough time for Bob, so he slipped upstairs, fired up his computer, got his chap out. Beating away to whatever he quickly found from the extensive collection on his hard drive, time drew near. At the top of his lungs, he yelled, "Mum!"
I was just hearing the Cartman voice.
But Bob f***ed up, because Bob's mum had not stayed downstairs in the kitchen. Had been too preoccupied with his hand-to-gland combat. Yes, that's best phrase in English language, that hand-to-gland combat. F*** me. To hear his movement in the hallway outside. Bob jizzed all over his hands as per usual. He always had really soft hands. That's when he heard the floorboard a few steps from his door. First step, trousers up. The second step creaked. Bob minimised the porn. Step 3, and the door creaks open. Bob realises he has jizz all over his hands. At this moment, something breaks in Bob's brain and decides his only option is to eat it.
No, I your mum, obviously.
Just wipe it somewhere.
Yeah, like there's so many avenues, dude.
Spider-Man it at the wall or something.
Like a hungry anteater, he slurps up his love gunk and globs it down like a trooper. Dude. There's so many better options.
Like doing nothing would be a better option. It's not like cum is like red paint for f***'s sake, man. Put your hand behind your back, you
Just like, oh, mum, doesn't matter, do you know? So he's globbed it down like a trooper. Maybe she saw him and chose to ignore it, or maybe she was oblivious. Bob managed to make up some shit excuse about his computer making a strange noise, and his mum chose to let it go. He told one of our friends this under strict confidence, so most of the school knew by lunchtime the next day. Bob was f***ing rank. Amen.
Yes, he was.
Bob.
Wow.
I was disappointed in Bob, really.
Yeah, I mean, what did we learn from that? Don't do that because it's weird.
Yeah.
Questioning like his motivations here. Like this, I feel like that was like the moment that the ball dropped for him. He was like, "I've always wanted to do it. Now is the time."
The forbidden fruit.
Now or never, like finger licking chicken style.
I I mean, listen, it'll work.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it
alright,
ticks a
yeah.
box.
We're looking at this from a purely scientific
Crosses-
standpoint. Then, yeah.
Crosses a few things off the list, you know. It's...
Lunch for one of them. Done.
Don't want to be friends with Bob.